Okay. One thing I've already. I think the reason why I've become strong is because I always put things in perspective. You know, Perps. Sometimes the psyop is to try to get you to identify with the things that make you experience. You see this pen. This is a neighbor. I swear, I don't know if he knows how he looks when he does the things, but I don't think he's a good facade because he looks like if you had to imagine somebody who's involved in a program and this pedophilia related kind of, he looks like him. Now, he's nothing special, but the way he looks like what he's part of. There's people who don't look like him who are part of this. He does definitely look like a fucking. Sorry for the. He does look like somebody who's involved in something foul. And I went to get my laundry done. Before that, they were bringing up a time when I was somewhere, and there was this little toddlers, little like 4, 5, 6 years old little kids, and there was this little girl, and they did the perfect type of torture as they do. Now, they bring it back to that, and now even adding more, creating more thoughts about it, and more nasty perception about this baby, and that's the things they do. And mind you, this is not too long ago. Maybe it's a month ago. So already I've talked about it like enough. I have like maybe 800 videos about like they do these nasty things every time I look at little kids, especially little girls. They do this foul pedophile things, right? And so now they're coming and they're trusting now we proved. It's like you do the same things. It's gonna happen all the time. Unfortunately, I did not take a picture of this kid because what happened is once I take the pictures, I put it on YouTube. I'm like, hey, listen, they make me look at these babies like this. And so in my head, they can create more thoughts, right? I already have a bunch of like YouTube video about this, but it'll be any of them. Imagine the one, maybe like a 3, 4 year old kid that I made a video about. Imagine one of them. And now in my head, they try to create more stimulations. And mind you, this, because once things are in your head, they can create more and create things and thoughts and perceptions. I've made so many videos about what they do to me with children. Videos that go back 2020, but you have these bottom feeders, right? This trash. They know what they're part of. They listen. They know exactly the manipulations and how you are being forced to think like this about kids. These people know exactly. Don't even let them. They completely are aware. They call it being at war. And he looks at me, he's like, rotting hair. I was like, I'd rather die. I looked at him, he's like, I'd rather die. He's like, okay. He just started walking. He's like, yeah. You see what I'm just trying to say? Because you know what you're doing is foul. And people involved in the pedophilia things that you guys do to people, there's no good things coming back. They use just childlike people to try to agitate you. It's like, listen, I've seen people involved doing what you do, killing themselves. I'd rather die. Cowards, lowlife, working for pedophiles, forcing men and women to think about children in these ways, they are renowned for tormenting people in these pedophile ways. It's funny, the people who like to interact via V2K don't like to be seen. Because you see them in person, it's like, oh my gosh. They wanted to be like this protective of children. They are bottom feeders that can force a man or woman to think about children in these pedophile ways. It's like, I have kids. Yeah, you have kids and you do these kind of things to people. And they want you to identify. So they make you have these thoughts of things they made you experience and then even add more to it and be like, right in hell. This is a tactic to get you to identify with the manipulation you have. Typical. I was like, no, we match this. Shut up. You do the pedophile things. And you've been doing the perfect type of torture for a while. You can make me think about any kids and to turn it in some pedophile ways, just like you've done it before to others. These bottom feeders are frustrated that regardless of how they try to make me think that I should identify with this, I'm not letting that happen. So they're gonna leave off a torture that I'm going to go through to think, oh, you see now, even though we work day and night to manipulate him to think like that toward children, he's gonna be tortured. Yes, it's him now. You understand? I see them truly for what they are. If you saw this old man, he's like 65 years old or so. Not that old, but probably he looks older than he's probably his age. Max 70. You see, he have this like weird nasty smirk that is just like, you look like him, it's like, look at him, it's like, you are a nasty low life. Now, that's because his appearance is his appearance. It's unfortunate for him that he actually looks like what he's part of. There's people who look like very innocent people. They even like to use children like individuals and mothers and things that don't look like him, and still do the things they do. So unfortunately for him, you actually look like what you're part of. And he has this like creepy fucking smile. That's and immediately when I pull, he's like right in hell. I'd rather fucking die. And he just snaps out. He knows better. He's like, oh man, he's not going with these things. Yeah, he's not. There's no torture and suffering and death that's gonna make me subscribe to this. Please stay living like this in heaven. You know what you guys do to people. I know what you guys do to children. I was listening to the torment and the peripheral type of torture, and the fact they sexually tortured children. Sexually torturing children. Hurting kids 3 years old sexually. This trash thing, they're delusional. It's like, no, but what you did as a kid. It's like, what the F? You low life. If you ever look at me and you think I'm going to look at you and not think that these people in the program that is killing kids, this is the reason why they're so cowardly. It's not because they're scared of me. It's because they know that I'm going to see them being involved in a program that does these things to kids. There is no way they can make themselves try to be something else. They try to be, I might be. Yeah, okay, I might be. It's me. It's not. You're not doing the peripheral type of torture. Look at me and think I'm going to subscribe to this. You work day in and day out. No, I give you the credit. You work hard for what you do. It's easy, but it takes a lot of time. I'll give you your credit for that. Dedicating so much of your time to manipulate people to think in these ways. Don't worry, I gave you that credit. Let that be on your shoulders. Bunch of fucking pedophiles. To all my target individuals, stay strong. They're bringing up things themselves manipulate me to experience. And they're like, you see, I might be, huh? I'm like, yes, I know you're trying to agitate me because you already know. But before even this thing happened, I made like 700 videos. Talk about every time I look at especially little girls. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be the nastiest. Oh, bring up the little girls. We did that to you. You see, I might be. And it's like, you're gonna rot in hell. It's like, yeah. Well, this is the heaven you live in. I'd rather die in hell than live like you. I'd rather suffocate, not breathe, not eat. There's nothing. When I even smell them eat their food, smell good. I'm sure the food is delicious. I'm disgusted. Everything they do makes me feel disgusting. They can live better life. They eat, they can drink, they can have fun. Even when they laugh, it's like, ugh. I don't want to laugh doing the shit they do. I don't even want to. I could not even imagine like go out and enjoy myself. Ugh. And then let me go back. I gotta manipulate. No. It's disgusting. They do. I know that whatever's gonna happen to me is gonna be so bad. But there's no way I can imagine myself. Okay, let me be healthy and do what they do. I'll be suicidal in 2.5 seconds. And these people know because it takes very little. I was like, I'd rather fucking die. He's like, okay. And he know what I meant. He's like, I'd rather die than do what you do right now. Because I know what you're trying to do. You think I'm going to identify with these ways they manipulate my brain in these disgusting ways. I understand. This is technology that does that. I know what I am. I understand why I am in this program. You are testing, developing this technology, this weapon, and using people. And the way you break them down is using this peripheral type of torture. I understand. You are supposed to make me believe it's like, right in hell. I'd rather die in hell. I understand what this is. You use the mind as a weapon. You weaponize the mind by using this peripheral type of torture to torment people to think about kids in these peripheral ways. But don't bring somebody who, first of all, look like a fucking something like that. And then try to make me subscribe to the thing I know you guys are doing. And then you hear this person talking to somebody in their house. Like, yeah, bring those femme fatale. You see the weakest of the weakest. Some of them look as sickly as if they're the one being radiated. I hear a woman talking to me sometime, and I'm like, you sound like you need like vacation. It's like, you gonna ride. And she sounds sickly. So you gonna ride it in hell. I was like, are you being radiated too? Are you a target individual too? Please tell me that you're doing this thing and that's why you sound sick like that. Use these co-workers of yours. I read and it's like, you're gonna cut my they're gonna castrate you. I was like, I brought my knife. I was like, I swear this pain is gonna be horrible, but let me pick the knife and here do it. I will never let you leave your fantasy. Matter of fact, I'm like, watch me. Once I'm dead, play dumb. Yeah, boom, it's gonna come back in. You've been humiliated once. That's why they use these childlike people to agitate you, using these comical ways of like annoying you. Yeah, I pay though, because apparently there's a bunch of pedophiles in these entities that contract these bottom feeders. Very awkward. Oh, I'm sorry, onward. That's what they use these weird repetitions and scripts to agitate you. But target individuals, one thing for sure, the way they try to make you identify with these nasty things that you're experiencing, which is them forcing you to experience, is then talk about how you're gonna die, how you're gonna be tortured, how you're gonna. It's tactics to intimidate you to accept a thing that you know is not naturally happening, and they know themselves too. And they're like, "Oh, I just saw what just happened in your head. I know that you're not. This is you, but they're just matching." It's like, yeah, please. They know even better than you how they're being how they manipulate your brain. Very well. They know they have incentive to keep doing what they need to do. They understand this. The days where you're like, oh my gosh, you just saw what just happened to my head. Oh my gosh, no. And it's over. Now I'm like, you fucking trash. Trash, this is what you guys want me to. Yeah, I understand. The whole, oh my god, we just saw, shake the heads up right in hell. It's like, oh, you wanted me to see you and be like, oh my gosh, he saw this. Oh my gosh, it's me. Oh no. No, I'm like, oh, you want me to identify with this because you tell me how I'm going to be tortured. Here's the knife. Here's the knife. Where's the torture I can go now? Where's the fire so I can jump in? I'm not going to let you live your fantasy. You will see me die in the street. I was like, okay, let me... no more food. Let me sit right now, today. It's time from today. No more eating. I'm going to die like this. Slowly dying. Live your life and watch how it goes. No escaping. You guys are cowards, bottom feeders, trash. Some of them are... Death is knocking on the door like this. It's like this. Hello? I can see this man's like, I'll give you another 10 years max. Less than that. And they're here trying to ride in hell. Let's ride or die like this. Look at you. How you finishing your life like this? That's good though. That I'm glad. If this is the first time, I'm glad that you've shown yourself today. Because I know they just all kind of purpose. Even some young, I was like, oh, they're doomed already. Starting doing this shit at this young. Pooh, life is just, oh, that's even better. Give more time for good things to happen to them. I'd rather die like this, being nothing, than being something that what you're seeing right now. I know there's a blurred picture. It's okay. I wish I had a better picture. If you see him in person, it's just another thing. Try to be like a old little man, like the friendly, like weird. But now I'm like, oh, that smile is a creepy smile. Oh, this is a coward life. I was like, do whatever you need to do. But to understand that this man, he died with dignity wherever he's going to end up rotting. I could live as old men and end up doing the things you do. Humiliating yourself. Now you're in part of a program that does renowned for these nasty things they do to people. One might think if it was biblical, like this shit sounds satanical. Some people say that they it's funny how they like call it being like this group of people are like satanical pedophiles or something like that. And you kind of like, there might be a point there, but the reality, I know why they do this. Like I said, pedophilia is used as a tactic to break people down. And I'm supposed to break down and break myself to think that this is me. Accept this identity they've made me, because they make me experience these nasty things. I should accept and identify to this. They're trying to break you as a being. But when you look at them, it's like, I'm better than you, by far. Not because what I've done in my life, because what I've accomplished, because what you end up doing, and now you're here trying to make me think in these ways. There's people like fucking the people I was working with yesterday accomplished so much more than me, but like, now I'm so much better than you. I'm so much better than you. I can have no teeth, still be better than you. I can be starving with not ounces, not even a cent on my name, still better than you. I'd rather fucking die on a street corner than live this life. And truly, and the sad part is, they're truly sold their soul to entities that's so disgusting. This dignity, I've always imagined myself dying in some kind of heroic, like, honorable way. Now, it's going to be painful. I understand that. They say I'm going to rot. That means my organs are going to fail and it's going to be a slow death. It's okay. It's going to end at one point. God give me strength for that. But thank you, God, I didn't have to live life like this. I'm not this spiritual being, but come on, you can help it. You can't help it but to find some kind of spiritual aspect of this. Because everything falls in a certain ways. They manipulate you. They do all these things. They make you think about kids in this way. It's like, oh, first of all, I'm validated. Listen to all these people. They all talk about some pedophilia things. And they try to say, no, but when you're a kid, you look, it's like, no, you're forcing me to experience that. You can manipulate my brain. And you have been mastering the tactics of pedophilia type of torture. And you want me to be like, no, but if when you're a kid, maybe you could look at this. Get out of here. And then you find out to add to the biblical things. You always ask yourself, what kind of people would be able to use these tactics? I made videos a long time ago, not a longer time, 3 years ago, before finding out. It's like, who comes up with these ways of breaking people down? Like, obviously, these people around me are just, they have like a protocol. They could follow the protocol and they do. They don't come up, it's like, we're going to use the pedophilia type of torture. No, the pedophilia type of torture is part of the tactics. They're going to do that. But I was like, who comes up with these ways? Who can think of that ways of breaking people down? It's like, I couldn't believe they literally used pedophilia. I thought, and that's why I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't believe it. It's like, you can't make me, like, what? Then finding out that it's truly, like, it is a protocol tactics. It's just not me. They literally have these tactics of using pedophilia type of torture. The reason why I was like, I know they've messed with me big time. I know it was not me, but I was like, I can't believe they really, really use these tactics. I can't believe this. Finding out, no, it's like literally like number 6 on the list of things they do to target individuals. And then it made all sense to find out that the entities who actually architecting and founding and coming up with this technology and have been working on this technology for years, and their program, these entities find out that they have a problem with pedophilia in a lot of those agencies involved in this. So it's like, that makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. This is why they can force people to think about kids in these nasty ways. It's disgusting. I'm not scared of people. I just don't want to subscribe to these nasty things. So that's why these people are becoming shyer, especially a certain femme fatale one. Now these people don't want to be seen, because what I would do is like, look at this face, look what they do. Tell me, you think when they survey 1,000 targeted individuals, almost all of them talk about child porn being planted in their mind. So that means pedophilia type of tormenting is implemented toward them. 1,000. I know that this is not naturally happening. Listen to this woman. Listen to this person. Listen to this person. You telling me that these people are not doing the pedophilia type of torture? It's like, no, but a little bit is you said, big seed. To all my target individuals, stay strong. They are going to dumb themselves down. I saw a grown woman say to me, it's like, a little bit is you, right? A little bit. What? Because they try to be like when you were a kid. They say you can feel a bit. The rest is us. It's like, yeah, okay. And they send this child like trash. Say no, they are serious. Like we using the previous type of torture that we do. We see they are a little bit of using that. That's a little bit of it. Man, and then they realize, this sounds kind of. It's like, yeah. To all my target individuals, I know there'll be a time I won't be able to speak again. I will make a million videos if I can. A million if I know it's not going to change what's going to happen to me. I know. I'd rather die praying for death than living life the way these people live. They're like, you don't pray for it. Because I'm going to be in such a suffering that death is be like deliverance. Freedom. Okay. Let me say this. Let me thank God before the day comes where I have to pray for death. Thank you, God. Because I could be living life like them. They're going to try to live off a torture because they want to counter reality. That's going to end at one point or another. Give me strength for the theater I'm going to go through. This is a way to make it seem like they're doing that because I'm a pedophile. We know who's the pedos. They'll try to counter reality. God, thank you, God. I know for them, their moments will come easily. I see them breaking down. I say one word, they're over there. Okay, let me go. I'd rather get raped every day of my life. I don't want that to happen. But I'd rather that than having to live life like these people. There is no honor and dignity in their life. And I'm not this most honorable person in life, but this is so undignified and so disturbing to yourself. No self-respect. I've seen people. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you. I know I'm very, very imperfect. Oh, thank you. Thank you for showing me how dignified I am now. These bottom theaters, it's so pathetically low. To having to lie to yourself that I'm at war. Thank you, God.